The cost of IT in business can be staggering. From hardware and software expenses to services like internet and phone, you don't need to spend a fortune on IT to succeed. If your organization spends more than $500 monthly on any service, or you're considering signing a long-term contract, IT Enabled can help you manage your technology and minimize your costs. Contact us today to schedule a free consultation. IT Enabled, we're here to help.
Hi, I'm Tara Watson-Watkins, President and CEO of the Lufkin Angelina County Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to the Connect podcast, connecting business to the community. I'm here today with my co-host, Blake Pollino with VP Media Group.
So we're excited to have back the Nonprofit of the Year winner, Ashley Berry of East Texas Cancer Alliance of Hope. She is in the running for, if she hasn't already surpassed it on this episode, our most appearances of any guest on the podcast. We love having her on. We love hearing her ideas that she has and watching them truly come to life after announcing them here on the podcast. So she has some great announcements here and some great new programs and organizations coming out. So let's get into that now.
Well, we're joking saying that this may be Ashley's fourth time on the podcast, but it's your first time as the Nonprofit of the Year.
Oh, bless it.
So congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So excited to honor you with that. So for those that are not familiar with East Texas Cancer Alliance of Hope, Ashley, why don't you tell everybody kind of how the vision started and where you are?
Okay. So it started with my own personal journey with breast cancer in 2014. I found that I had significant needs after I'd lost my job and almost lost my car, almost lost my house. If it were not for my community, my family, my church family, supporting me financially and emotionally, mentally, I wouldn't have made it out of that season, just being as rough as it was. And so, I decided to start the nonprofit simply because I had a need. And I knew that if I had that much of a significant need, then there had to be other people who were, struggling with the same thing. And so we found that there is a need for the services. And so we're excited to be able to help individuals with rent and mortgage, utility bills, gas vouchers to get back and forth to MD Anderson, or we have quite a few clients who are going to the Tyler area for treatment. And even if they're local, we provide some gas cards for those who are, traveling locally as well.
So how many clients are you serving right now?
So right now, this is by far our biggest year. We have right at 80 clients right now. That increased just a little bit since the awards, because I think we had 76 or so then. Yeah. But we've gotten at least 3 or 4 new clients in the last month and a half. 2 of those being teenagers. Wow. One 15-year-old, one 17-year-old, both with some aggressive forms of cancer. So 80 individuals that we serve, but that makes up right at about 192, I think is what we counted yesterday, family members. So if mom and dad are, at Texas Children's Hospital with kiddo and missing work on a regular basis, and most times for, a leukemia diagnosis, it is once a week treatment, multiple days in Houston per week. And so they're losing that time away from work. And if they haven't accumulated enough time to take that time off, then there's a decrease in their finances. And so that's where we come in. And we're able to kind of help them with whatever it is that they need, just going through.
Yeah, that's insane to me. So for a leukemia diagnosis there, I'm sure for other forms of cancer, if you're a parent of a child, you have to find some way to get off of work for at least a day of the week. I'm sure, going to MD Anderson, man, that's a 4 hours round trip. I mean, so
every single week for at least 6 months in some cases.
Yeah.
In some cases, it's more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you don't have a job that is flexible enough to let you do that, you're burning through sick days, vacation days,
unpaid
days where you just have to hope that you can get off for that. That's a really big burden for people to have to deal with. Yeah, that's crazy.
So a lot has happened with the organization since the last time you were on here.
Yeah.
The last time you were here, I think the retail store was really a vision and getting ready to open.
Yeah.
So
That was
let's-
the time before last,
Was it?
actually. So,
I think
the time before last, she announced
Okay.
or I think you floated the idea of the resale shop,
yeah.
and then the next time you came on, it was a reality.
live.
Yeah,
and
which is
now it is
crazy.
gangbusters.
It is booming. Like we
Yeah.
are crazy blessed at that retail store. We probably have, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 totes just full of stuff in our back room. So we were on Ellis Street in about 1,000 square feet of space. We grew out of that crazy fast. And so now we're in Chestnut Village, and we have right at about 2,800 square feet of space. And we are already running out of space.
Isn't
And
that
so,
crazy?
yeah,
I mean, it's a pretty store.
it is. It is
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I am most proud of just the mission behind it. Everything from that store goes back into our community's homes. You know, of people who are fighting or battling cancer. And so I don't know. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I am. I'm not
You
even
should
gonna lie.
be.
I'm proud
For
of
people
it.
who
Yeah.
may not have heard of the last 2 or 3 episodes, whatever the number is, tell us about the resale shop if people don't know what that is and how it works.
So we opened in February of this year, 2022, a children's resale store. So I wanted to go children because there were no other stores that were specific to children. We all know that we have Goodwill, we have Salvation Army, we have the Family Crisis thrift store. I didn't want to take away from what they were doing already, right? While they're all exist, I wanted to be fair, and so we decided to just go with kids, and we've met a significant need, and so everything in there right now is almost 100% donated. In January, I think we'll start a buy-all program where, and I want to kind of make it geared towards kids and them being able to bring in their unused toys, their clothes that are too little for them, and then pay them, and not necessarily their parents, even though mom and dad paid for it. But like, I want them to know that like what they're giving is furthering our community in a way,
Right.
and just kind of bringing awareness to them that like their proceeds, their donations are helping other kids in our community, helping other families in our community.
Yeah.
I could very easily, have you guys bring me all your stuff and pay you, but
right.
I think it brings a deeper, it's just a little bit deeper of a heart thing for me
Well, I think
when I'm bringing
it helps
kids.
teach the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're a kid's store,
Miss, Annalie made a pile the other day. She said, "This is for Miss Ashley." I
Yes.
said, "Okay, baby,
Yeah.
we'll take it to Miss Ashley."
I love it. I love it.
That's such a great idea. We're always looking for ways to try to get our kids involved in nonprofits and like charity organizations. And you'd be surprised. So like I have a 6-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old boy. You'd be surprised how hard that is a lot of times. Like there are a lot of nonprofits who love help and need help, but it's like you can't volunteer until you're 16 or whatever. And it's like, so ways to get these younger kids engaged in that and just kind of like get their awareness around there are people in life who maybe don't have it as good as I do, and how can I help those people? And I think that's fantastic. I look forward to having you on the podcast again in January when this starts to happen, so that you can tell us all about it. That's
I think it's going to be fun. A good way for kids to, like you said, learn about giving back and then help them understand why they're giving back and to whom they're giving back. And so I don't know. I'm all about raising just well-rounded kids, and so I think that'll be a good project for us.
That's
super cool.
Well, and you've got another project up your sleeve.
I do.
That wasn't it?
Off.
What you just said?
No.
Oh my gosh.
She's got a new project.
I thought that was it.
Kicking off in 2023.
Yeah. So it's called, and we've changed the name 56 times, but Crystal Riley, our board attorney, has taken this one and put some legal lingo behind it. So it's set.
It's set in stone.
It's set. It is East Texas Care Navigation. And it is a navigation program that is very intensive case management for individuals in our community who need resources, right? So we have a ton of resources in Angelina County and Nacogdoches County. However, it has been our just kind of what we've gone through or experienced with our clients. They know how to access those resources sometimes. Sometimes they don't, right? So we get a cancer diagnosis in the office, and it's a breast cancer diagnosis. Well, depending on their income bracket, there's a program at CHI or St. Luke's Health Memorial, I apologize, that's called the Breast and Cervical Cancer Program. And they can get those individuals on a type of Medicaid through the state where most of their treatment, almost all of their treatment, is completely covered. People just don't know about it. And so what we want to do is we want to utilize social workers and community health workers to provide, like I said, intensive case management in order to navigate individuals through the system, stabilize them, not just like, here's the handout, here's what we have for you, but stabilize these individuals and, get them to where they can maintain and take care of themselves. We found that there are just, people just don't know, and sometimes they've been, just not properly informed, and so we're going to take it by the reins and
and what I love about this, you were explaining this to me the other day, is that this case manager will be working with your client, but then they will be assigned to reach out to all of the different entities for that one client. So you have one person talking to multiple organizations about that one person.
Client. Yeah. So when they come into our office, there will be an intake process, and we'll evaluate what their needs are, and then we'll get to the intervention phase where before they leave my office, applications are filled out, driver's license, socials, we have copies of all of those. And so if we're sending them to the food bank, by the time they get to the food bank, their application is there. Everything that they need in order to make it a seamless process. We're scheduling appointments for them, and then holding them accountable, not driving them to the appointment, but hey, Ms. Jones, you have an appointment this day, make sure you're there, and then if they're not following through, then I know that they're not serious. But for the individual who's ready to follow through and truly get back on track, they're going to show up for that appointment. And then they're going to get what they're needing. And, we're working together as a community. I'm not trying to take the place of any other organization, but instead, I feel like we're helping other organizations by preparing all of this information, getting you what you need, so that the mission of every organization in this community is to help people. And so,
you're the cog,
right?
You're the one that goes out, and then the wheels start turning from there.
Right. That's what my hope is. Yeah, that's the goal.
Such a needed service. So big shout out to Leadership Lufkin. We did, I'm in the Leadership Lufkin class this year. We did the nonprofit tour, our nonprofit day. So we went around, you spoke on our Leadership Lufkin day, and we went to these nonprofits so I've lived in Lufkin my entire life. I was born and raised here, but there were so many organizations that, even having been here my entire life, a huge percentage of the business that we do on our BP Media Group video side, we do tons of video work for nonprofits. And I still had no idea what some of these resources were. We went to the Buckner House, and we're going around Buckner, and it was blowing my mind what an awesome program it was for these women. And I said, you guys have to be full, right? And they said, no, we're not even halfway full. It's like, how do people not know about this? So that's such, what you're doing here, such an important way, because there are tons of resources. Like we went to the Salvation Army for a commercial shoot that we're doing there, and we went to the adult center. I was like, this is such a cool resource for people who need help. You can get meals here, you can take a shower here, but I had no idea. I mean, so there's tons and tons of resources, and for you to be able to advocate on behalf of these people,
Yeah.
with having a whole list of knowing what these resources are. So like, what do you see as people who are in need? Is it always like financial need? Is it anything? Is it like, if you're in need of help, come to this organization? How do you see that going?
Yeah, well, it's strange, and there are a lot of needs. There
Right.
are a lot of different just ways that you could look at it.
Uh-huh.
But for an individual who's in crisis, right, and a crisis could be, my lights are about to be turned off tomorrow, but then that spirals into, well, maybe they may need mental health services, or they're at Burke trying to get mental health services, but they're in crisis because their lights are about to be turned off tomorrow. And I'm only in this crisis mode or in this like mental spiral because there's something over here that I'm not being able to get, and I don't know how to get it. All of it kind of goes hand in hand, in in the mental health services, in the financial side, in just the general resources, housing assistance, transportation. It all goes hand in hand. And so with our program, like, we're getting to some of the root causes of why are you in this situation, right? I have mental health issues. I can't keep a job because I have mental health issues.
Right.
Well, let me get you some mental health help, and then maybe we can help you maintain a full-time job, and then you won't need the finances that another resource can provide for you,
Right.
because we started somewhere else. Instead of just here's the money to pay your bills. Now let me find out what's really going on.
Right.
Have you ever struggled with mental health issues? And if that is the case, then let me send you to Burke, because Burke can help you with that. And so I think that we've just got to start kind of digging a little bit deeper. Not saying that we're just surface level, and not saying that other organizations aren't going beyond the surface, because I feel like we are. We just want to dig and dig as deep as we can, and help individuals understand that they can be whole. They can hold down full-time jobs just like everyone else. We just got to figure out why and where they are, when they come in.
And are you finding that the other organizations are being really receptive to this concept?
Yeah. I don't think that anyone, I think that everybody at this point who works a social service job or other resources, other agencies in town, they know who I am, and they know my heart. They know that I'm not out for anybody. I just want to help people. That is my goal, is to help the people. And so I feel like other agencies are receptive.
Good.
It's a referral for them. We have the client. All of us serve the same people already anyway. And so we're just going to figure out how to better coordinate care for individuals in the county. And I think that we'll all be better off because of it.
I think it's great, Ashley.
Yeah. So where are you in the process of this? Is this, I'm assuming this is like a name, like you guys have trademarked this. Is that kind of where you are on that? Is it? So this is, where are you in the process of this?
We'll kick it off officially January 1.
Awesome.
I put out on Facebook not long ago that I was in search for a larger office. We've been operating in about 650 square feet of space for 4 years. And in order for us to bring in individuals, in order to do the intake, I was using the front office, which serves as the copy room. It serves as the file room. The interns are housed in that room. And so we're just jam-packed in that office. And so I specifically put out there I needed an office, that at least 4 offices, a conference space, because our board meetings were held somewhere else, and I needed 2 bathrooms because I don't share bathrooms real well.
I get that. I understand.
And just a little break room. And so God provided just that. I actually
fantastic.
have 5 offices, a file room, a conference area, 2 bathrooms, a larger kitchenette. So we're going from 650 square feet to about 1,700 square feet,
That's great,
which is just a great blessing. And we'll be able to better facilitate, the intakes and just, it'll feel better. We're not
and we'll have
stacked
you
on top
back
of
on the
each other.
podcast this time next year, and you'll be looking for a bigger space than that. Someone just needs to give Ashley a warehouse
That's
in
right.
Lufkin.
Listen,
we just need all the space.
Ready. We are
All
ready.
the space.
Yeah, because that a warehouse. That's the next venture.
Isn't it
Yeah.
We're gonna
crazy
need
to
a
think
warehouse.
what started with a vision lying on your
Yeah.
couch,
Yeah,
what it has turned into?
literally. Yeah. And so these are things that, like, I encourage everybody to write these things down. Like, write everything down. Because on my worst days, believe it or not, I have really horrible days some days. You know, everybody sees Ashley as just happy, and but I have bad days too. But I write things down so that on my bad days, when I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels, when I feel like I'm not getting anywhere, I can look back and see where, like, we've made progress, So with the Cancer Alliance, and then there was a vision of the kids store, and those were just words that I spoke one day. It's like, I want to do this, and so then now the store has come to fruition, and so. Care navigation, and that's another one of those things where I just kind of started speaking it to my board members and like, hey, we need this, and kudos to them, because while they keep me in check, they allow me to just do not what I want to do, but what needs to be done, with no pushback, none of that. It's like, you got it, just keep moving. And so I think the next thing will maybe be some transitional housing in Lufkin. Just here recently, I've had some personal encounters of need for transitional housing. Telling you before we started, there's we're lacking there. I think there are places to go here, but I think we need some more.
Well, we can't wait to see what your next dream is.
Yeah.
Because we know if you dream it, you will achieve it.
It will come to pass.
If you have any other ideas you want to float out, let's just get them out here on the podcast, and then we'll make sure we have you back when you can announce it.
That was the next one right there. So that
love
warehouse is necessary. You know, we'll find somebody to outfit it, and then just keep moving. My heart is people. I don't know why. I do know why God has given me such a heart for people, and it's because people have such a heart for me. They had a heart for me when I was going through one of the most difficult times of my life. And so I know what it's like to be on the other side of needing the help, but also receiving compassionate help, receiving genuine help. And so my heart is just to give out that compassionate help, that genuine help that comes from, not anything other than, I want to see you do better, you know, like,
that's great.
Pull up a seat at this table. There's room for us all. And
I love that.
I love it.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're excited to see.
On
So
a lot of things.
What is the name of the organization again? So this will come out. Yeah. So this will come out in mid-December. So we'll be really close to this launching. What is it called?
East Texas Care Navigation.
East Texas Care Navigation.
Yep.
Awesome. Where will people be able to find that? So we're recording this still in November, but this will air a couple weeks later.
So etxcarenavigation.org
Cool.
Will be the domain. We'll get a website together.
Yeah.
We're in the process of working on that now. And then we'll be at 513 South 1st Street as of December the 1st.
Awesome.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Very
Thank
cool.
you for being on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll be back 5-6 more times.
Yeah.
Good.
If I have to put money on who's going to be our most reoccurring guest, it's probably going to be Ashley. She's got a lot of cool stuff going on. Well, thanks for sharing your time with us and sharing your heart and all that you have going on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast again this week. Please go check out this awesome organization, everything that Ashley's doing. Go and support that. If you have things that you can donate those to the resale shop. Kid stuff only, right? Still just kid stuff only. And just make sure you're involved as you can be. Just a huge, huge, huge benefit for our community. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.